Legendary Lyn is a really good unit, and this completely surprised me. There are some things that have been added to the game that have really thrust her into the meta, and we're going to talk about all of those. Let's get into the highlights though. The first is Feud is really good. I understand there are a ton of bonuses right now that don't get affected by Feud, but there are still a lot that this can shut down. This is absolutely fantastic, and mainly you're looking at Maria and Emir, who have become such a solid portion of the meta now that having something that shuts her off is completely amazing. Melee Sweep is underrated. Just ask any Legendary Alm fan. Seriously, this is a great thing to have in your skill set, and Physical Null Follow-Up is transformative for this unit. It is really amazing. Let's talk about the skills and what we're looking at with this unit. Legendary Lyn, here we have it, and I mean, Lyn fans, you've got to be happy. Like, this refine, let's just jump right into it. This was a very simple refine that at the time, folks really did not like. We'll talk about what's changed there, but I mean, overall, this is plus 16 to attack and speed, which is really nice. Feud, which we just talked about, is a huge portion of the meta. You get true damage, you get the conditional sweep effect. I understand that, but this counter disrupt, I mean, it's 5 plus the foe speed, which is not fantastic, but we're going to show that for a very specific set of units that pop up a lot, it's very, very good. Can you replace Laws of Sakai 2? Yes, but I'm going to recommend you don't. We'll talk about that when we get to the Sims. Let's look just briefly at, you can use this unit in any in any mode, honestly. Aether raids defense more than offense. Summoner duels, definitely. Arena is probably her weakest mode. We'll get into that first. As far as the build I'm looking at most of the time, it's the one on the right. I am looking at plus 10 because most people at this point who are trying to use Lyn have loved her for a very long time. Understand that it's not a huge hit to drop her down to like a plus 1, but she really does want every single bit of stat point you can get, and those flowers unfortunately are very necessary. So she does get expensive in that regard. I really want to jump into the Sims though, because I have just been fascinated by this unit all week. Let's look at Arena first. Please stick around. This is not indicative of what this unit is going to do. I promise this gets better, but I wanted to start here. As usual, what I'm giving every unit is just an Omni plus 6 in Arena. Still to this day, and it's something that's starting to move away, but visible buffs are very, very easy to get, so I just usually assume that everyone has them. And this is not a great showing. She does take out leg yarn. Remember, the sweep effect isn't for tomes, and so she doesn't get that against Asker, which is what you're seeing there with the very near miss on the defeat. I was really sad that she couldn't defeat Legendary Yuri. That just about broke my heart, and I didn't expect her to take out Crom, but I still had hope. Anyway, she just, again, the sweep effect really comes into play versus units like Myrrh. That is absolutely fantastic, and that combined with the physical null follow-up really cuts her down to size. Veronica is built like a paper napkin, and so is Legendary Female Byleth. But she couldn't take out Elwood. Alright, this is not great. The other thing is, if you're going to run her in Arena, you're probably going to want the dual skill, which I hate those things, even though they're better than they used to be. The HP plus 5 and then the plus 2 to all of the stats. It's just not fantastic. It's not, yeah. You could go an all supportive build, which is very easy with like a ruse and then that dual skill and a couple of the things in the C and the S. There are some things that you can't get in this holoforms, so understand that like the new infantry pulse 4 would be amazing for that type of build if you wanted to go that route. Obviously not available here, but things like infantry no follow-up are. So just keep that in mind if you want to go a full supportive build. I haven't talked about it here, but that is something that you can do for Arena. I wouldn't suggest it for other modes, and we're going to talk about why when we get to defense. All right, the first thing you're going to look at here is the fact that I have almost a full Catria ball built. But understand, this is a stock Catria ball. I mean, yes, this plays very well to Lyn's strengths, as you can see with the results there. But basically, a Catria ball is this team, and you can swap out Robin for some other type of support, like Legendary Male Robin, or even Duo Asker is very good. But I am really in love with Brave Robin right now in that spot, particularly for older units that don't have slaying. He is phenomenal because he really makes up for that. I mean, you're hitting with Ruptured Sky on the first hit unless the opponent has Scowl. It is absolutely fantastic. But generally, as you guys know, for these types of teams, normally you have 2 big nukes. In this case, you have 1 more in Robin, so you have 3, 1 melee. But you're going to have some other complementary nuke. It's something like Legendary Shez if you've got both of them in season, or something like Claude, although I don't like the color sharing. More likely you'd pick one of the Croms, which are very nice. Both of them do an excellent job and can complement this unit well. If you're feeling really saucy, you can try something like Ishtar. Send an Ishtar with her Brave effect is very, very nice. All things you can do, and Lysithea is another one, but understand that you're going to want some unit to complement her, but it's going to be the same type of setup. Like, this is just a stock Catria ball for Anima season. And the results, I cannot believe she just smashed Aleer. This is not the going Aleer build. Most of the time you're going to want Scowl. Everyone is waiting for that speed version of Scowl to really take off with Legendary Aleer. For Dimitri, even though the color sharing is there, this really highlights how powerful physical no follow-up is. And then you see Lucia, which is nuts. I am just blown away that result was the way it was. And it wasn't close. Like, Lyn solidly got that one. She does not take out Corrin, but because of that Ruptured Sky combined with Rally Spectrum, she does a number there. Like, 24 health left is something, and generally you're going to have a different unit come in and probably be able to clean that up, or you're going to be able to have Robin warp in and do that. And finish them off. All of these units have summoner support, and it's just pretty much what I think is the standard team, which is Plumeria, Elamine, and I've got Sather in here, although some folks have a different one. Still, this is really fantastic results, and again, having Feud and to block Fallen Maria and any Elamine support, that's fantastic. I really was pleased with this. The Summoner Duels one, I was even more pleased, and this is kind of more of a subset where you've got Catria and Robin, which again is a team I'm seeing a lot of composition-wise, just because Robin having an additional unit that has a different range. You know, most of the time you see these Catria balls with all ranged units, and being able to swap over that to Robin is really advantageous. Plus, he hits very, very hard. So this is not an outlandish team, and look at the way she performs. And the thing I was most surprised about was Halloween Duma just getting smashed. I did not see that coming, and that is really where that sweep effect comes into play. And yeah, miracle effect and everything. I even tried charging it up all the way. So understand that's not what's holding this unit back. Like, it's just that Lyn is hitting that hard with physical null follow-up to absolutely demolish Duma, Tiki, Rudolph. I did Shell as well. This unit smashed just about anything that I put up against it. The one exception, and I've got her winning against Corrin. Understand that is close. And so with a little bit of speed support, Corrin does win that. Just keep that in mind. That is with Divine Dragon Stone on there. But yeah. The biggest thing is in Summoner Duels, Maria and Emir run rampant, and Lyn does not care. kind of fantastic, and I kind of love this. So if you are a Lyn fan and you are looking to revive her, Summoner Duels might be your mode, which is weird because that is not a thing I say ever. Moving on down to what skills you should target in holoforms. And again, this is kind of a grab bag, and we'll go over at the very end the build that I'm going to go after. If you're going for Arena, and I've gone for kind of a more creative thing here, but if you wanted Flash Sparrow plus the lull speed defense 4 and times pulse, that could work very well. That should get that Deadeye procced on the second hit. The problem that we saw before was a lot of the Arena units right now are ranged. And so, yeah, that Laws of Decay is not going to do all that well in that mode. For defense, I've got Special Spiral for kind of this is an alternate build to the Summoner Duels build, but Attack Speed Finish 4, Panic Smoke 4, which is, again, another fun alternate and can work really well on Aether's defense. And then usually you go for the Rally Up skills because on defense they can kind of change your dynamics and make this unit able to be a rally bot as well as some other thing. For Summoner Duels, I always like Harsh Command. I think that is a great skill just to have laying around on units. It can really come in handy. Ruptured Sky, because I like the lower cooldown compared to Deadeye. I understand in Summoner Duels it's possible to not have that, but I prefer Ruptured Sky in this type of build with Physical Null Follow-Up. Attack Speed Unity is my go-to there. Physical Null Follow-Up. I think if you're going for this unit, Physical Null Follow-Up is your choice. I've done a ton of sims, and that's just, yeah. And then Attack Speed Oath 4, and obviously I've got Blade Session on 2 of these. I mean, if you get that in holoforms, it's nice. If you don't, you know how it goes. But this is what I'm going for. I think this is the most all-around build you can get. There are some other things that you could look at, but most of them, like we talked about, well, we didn't talk about Pledge. I wish Pledge was available. I would like that better in the C skill, but I don't think that's a detriment to this unit. I would have liked Attack Speed Prime. I'm not sure. I think that's more of a side grade to what we have in in Laws of Decay. But it still has some neat things to it. But again, none of these are on this holoform. So that's us looking at things that we wish were there, but we're not. This is what I'm going for. I think this is a fantastic build. I think you guys can have a lot of fun with this. Just going back to the rankings, you can see why I have bumped this unit up. This is a solid role player, and that's because Feud has become such a powerful thing. Do I wish she had more speed? Yes, but we don't get everything we want. Lyn fans, I think you can be very happy with this unit, and this is not a meme. I think this unit is very, very good. The last thing I want to go over is just the upcoming Formas, because we have some doozies. October, we have 2 with Sacred Stones twins, and I think they are fun. I'm gonna have to do some sims to see how meta impactful they are. The thing that changes Erica is pairing her up with a Lear, and having that piercing on her makes her a completely different unit. Honestly, Ephraim has always been a decent galeforce unit, and it is still probably good that way, although lacks damage output, as most Cavs do right now, other than a very select few. Cavs are very preference weapon dependent, as opposed to infantry units, which can be good with a wide range of skills. In December has Yoon, and I cannot wait to upgrade my Yoon. There are some things that she needs, and I am really looking forward to that one. I think that is can be a very meta impactful unit. And then we have Crom, who we haven't talked enough about his refine that is bonkers. It is good in a lot of modes, but particularly in Summoner Duels. The last tier list I saw actually had him above Duo Crom, which is insane. That is speculated. The red are speculated. So if that does come to fruition, though, that is worth a Forma. So this is just to help you plan and to figure out when you need to spend things and what you have to spend. Thank you so much for listening. I thank you to the members. You guys are amazing. I'm going to leave a link up to the latest meta report because that's more of what's going on in the meta, particularly with the Braves. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHology real soon.